welcome to episode 3 of Freedom Builders Podcast. My name is Yuri Gomez with Queen Homes, and we are here today answering the question, what is a construction to perm loan? We get this question asked at least twice a day because so many people want to build their dream home. And for that, we have as our guest today, the famous Lina Arcila from New American Funding. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Judy. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. You know you're famous, right?
Super famous, according to him only.
So she's obviously very active in social media and one of the rock stars of New American Funding, which is one of our preferred lenders here at Queen Homes. So let's go ahead and get started because I know you probably, if you tuned for this, you want to have this answer. So Lina, first of all, how long you been in the mortgage industry, and what's your experience in the mortgage industry in construction loans?
So I started yesterday, Judy, 2006. It has been a lot of years. And construction loan is actually something that I started doing in the recent years and that I didn't know much about, like many people out there. And surprisingly, is an amazing product. So we're going to give you more details today about that.
I know that you kind of had to definitely expand your portfolio of construction loans since obviously Lina is one of our preferred lenders for Queen Homes, especially if you want to build a home where you're going to live, right? We're talking about a custom home or a home where you choose one of our models and then you want to move into the property. So let's dive in, Lina. Construction to perm loan. One of the questions that we get asked all the time is, what is it? How does it work? How does that? Because most of the people have already bought a house. When somebody comes to us and they want to build a custom home, most likely they already had 2-3 homes. Mm-hmm. This is not for a first-time home buyer, right? So they already have that and they're used to getting a pre-qualification on a house that already exists, and then they just close and they move in. So what is a construction to perm loan?
Yeah, amazing question, because I'm going to start saying that it's a product that can save consumer, a buyer, a lot of money and time. And let me just explain a little bit about that. Many times when people are trying to build their dream home with you, they think that it's very complicated and they have to get two different type of loans sometimes, right? They have to get a construction loan to finance the construction, but then and pay closing costs right there. Mm-hmm. And then they have to get another loan just to be the permanent 30-year loan on the house. The construction to perm loan is amazing because it's both in one. Okay? So that's the first thing that people don't know, that is actually very easy. So let me explain a little bit of how it works. Like you were saying, we're going to do the pre-qualification process as if the house already exists. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to verify income, credit, assets as a regular transaction. And once I have that information, we're going to do a closing. And a house that doesn't exist, but we're going to finalize payment, interest rate, all the details. Once we have that closing, we're going to finance the construction. The construction normally is about 12 months. And then once the house is done, the beautiful thing about this type of loan is also known as a one-time closing. We don't have to do anything again. I don't have to re-verify your credit, your income, because a lot of things can change in 12 months. It's what people sometimes don't know.
Of course. So basically, I close on the loan with you, the builder starts the construction, and I can go buy a Ferrari.
Technically, yes and no. Okay.
Oh my God! You see how lenders get?
Yeah, because even though we're not gonna have to re-verify anything, things can happen. Okay. And we do this loan for certain time, so we're gonna go into that later. But my recommendation is wait until the house is finalized, done, and we finalize everything.
Okay. So maybe a Honda, not a Ferrari.
Yeah, maybe a Honda.
Okay. Got it. All right. So basically, one-time close. Oh, is that why every time I talk to you, you tell me this is an OTC loan?
Yeah. In the industry, it could be construction to perm or...
CTP. I call it CTP, construction to perm, and then she calls it OTC.
One-time closing.
One-time closing. Okay, got it. So, so that is what a construction to perm loan is, because it's a construction loan that actually changes automatically. So it's a one-time close up front. Mm-hmm. Once the builder is done, it automatically changes to a PITI, a principal, interest, taxes, insurance payment, correct?
Right. At that moment, once the house is almost done, we're going to do a quick modification We're going to finalize all details. We're going to talk about that in a second. And then it converts into a 30-year regular loan. You don't have to do all the process again.
Okay. One of the things, actually, we don't have this question here, but people also ask, is the bank going to do an appraisal up front?
Yes.
Does the bank do an appraisal?
Yeah, because remember that at the beginning, we are approving you for the whole construction. Like the house is going to be $300,000. We're going to approve you for that. So the bank wants to make sure that that house is really going to be $300,000 in the market. So they do an appraisal.
Gotcha. And that appraisal includes the value of the lot and the construction.
Correct.
Got it.
And it also takes into consideration what will be the value of the house in a year when it's built.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so that's amazing. So we actually gathered some more questions from our clients and from our realtors, and I want to shoot you with these questions, Lina, so get ready.
Go ahead.
So the first one is, how do I qualify for a construction to perm loan? We kind of know already how it works. What qualification does the client need? Is it the same as a regular FHA? Is it the credit different? Is the loan to value and the debt to income ratio different? How does it work on qualifications?
So remember how I said that I've been doing loans since yesterday, 2006, but I didn't know much about this product, and I was very surprised once I started learning more because it's pretty much the same as a regular loan. So let me give you examples. If you as a client qualify for an FHA loan, for a construction loan, you only need to have a 620 FICO score. We can do 580 if you put more down payment, but if you have 620, you qualify with 3.5% down payment. So imagine building your dream home with only 3.5% down payment.
And you can do 620. I
can do 580 if you put 10% down. Yeah.
See, that's really nice. I thought that you needed more credit.
It's very aggressive. And for somebody who wants to have a conventional loan, then they can do 5% down payment. I need 680 FICO score.
Okay.
And for this one, let me touch on that really quick. So a lot of people think because my product is for primary home. So you touched on something before. It could be for a first-time home buyer, but it could be also for somebody who has a house, is going to rent it, and is going to live in that property that we're building for them.
Would still be an FHA, or could be a conventional
5%.
So it would be a conventional 5%. So that's actually another question. This is, you're gonna love. We get a lot of clients. They already have a house, so they tell me, Yuri, I'm done. I want to build my dream home. I love Lina. I met with her already. How do I qualify if I already have my FHA loan on the house that I live in? Do I have to sell it, move, then you build, then I move again? Or can I stay there and rent it when you're done with the construction?
Super good question, because let's say that you have a house. We're going to do an analysis of how much that house is going to rent for, right?
Okay.
So we're going to use that rental income. And remember, we're doing all the qualification at the beginning. So I'm going to do that analysis, how much the house is going to rent for. And when you finish the house that you're building, since you're going to rent it, you can do that. You can keep your house, rent it, and move into the house that you're building. So you don't even have to sell it.
Wow. So they can stay on the property, close on the new loan, and
The house
then
is being built.
we're being built. Once it's done, that gets rented, they move to the new one.
Yeah.
Isn't that a beautiful country? I
It's-
love this. We tell, because I say that because we do events everywhere, and when I tell people in Chile or in Argentina, hey, there's a construction to perm loan where they'll appraise a home that doesn't exist yet and they'll finance 100, they're like, what? That's crazy. And yes, we do that.
You just said 100%. For VA, we finance 100% of the construction. They don't have to have any down payment. For our veterans, of course. And if the house is going to be located in USDA territory, we also finance 100%.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you have USDA, 100% construction to perm, and you have a VA, 100%. So if you're a veteran, you literally could finance 100% of the whole project of your dream home. Which, by the way, people ask us all the time, a custom home, I cannot do a custom home because it's $1.5 million or more. No, we're doing a custom home right now for beautiful clients in the Kissimmee area, and it's coming to be about $479.
Yes.
With the lot and everything included. So it's definitely possible. We just need to find, obviously, the area that you want to live in, and also what is your purchasing power with Lina, so that then we can kind of figure out then how much lot, and what kind of house you can get, obviously. And can they, if they, let's say you qualify them for 600,000, and they design the home and it's 700,000, can they put 100,000 extra in cash?
Yes.
Beautiful. You take cash.
Yeah.
I mean, not literally.
No, yeah, exactly. We have to verify, but yes.
Yeah.
And since you mentioned that, let me clarify something, because a lot of people think I will have to go and buy the lot first and then I can do that. And in that instance that we're talking about right now, we finance both, okay? When I do my pre-qualification, like you were saying, let's say that client is pre-qualified for 500,000, that is for both. I can finance the lot and the construction. So they don't have to do two separate transactions. It's all included in once when we're doing a purchase.
Correct. When you're doing a purchase, then that's when somebody wants to build a dream home, but they don't have the lot.
They don't have the lot.
So we can, because a lot of people also ask that. I'm missing a lot of questions here. A lot of people ask that. Oh, wait, I don't want to do the house yet because I need to buy the lot cash, and then I'll do the loan. You can actually put everything together and put it as an umbrella into one loan. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go to the next question that a lot of clients are asking. If you have any questions, you can always post your questions here in the comments. So third question, do I have payments during the construction? So beautiful, you included 100%, they're renting their other home, or they're gonna rent their other home, I should say. I'm building, what are they paying while the builder builds?
Okay, so normally builders have what they call draws, okay? So you're gonna ask me to give you the whole money in different stages. So the first draw, let's say, is 100,000. The client is only gonna be making payments on the money that we give you, interest only. Then we do the second draw, third draw, and as we use the money, the client only pays on whatever is being used for the construction, interest only.
Okay.
They don't pay principal, they don't pay taxes, insurance, none of that.
Okay, and they're paying the interest only on what interest? On what they closed when they locked the loan at the close?
No, so in that case, the construction process has at this moment at 8% interest rate, interest only.
Okay, which is actually cheap. The reason why I say that is because in multifamily, which is not this loan, it's a very different loan for investors, interest rates are about 10.75 or so. But that's for investors. Very different loan. Let's not get confused. So, okay, so basically they're paying the interest. So let's do the math. I like to do the math. So let's say I get to slab and I ask NAF, New American Funding, 100,000. You guys send an inspector, yes, to make sure that whatever I'm asking, it actually has been done. And that's a protection, by the way, to you as a client. The bank doesn't just send money. They actually verify to make sure that the money that you have in your loan is being disbursed to the builder on things that have already been done. So really, as a builder, I'm being reimbursed for what I already spent. Now, so 100,000 you give me. So the next month, what is my payment?
Oh, I will have to do a calculation for that.
Gotcha.
Dude.
But let's say I'm going to do an educated calculation here. If it's at 8%, 100,000, that's 8,000 a year. So that would be about probably $670 a month, right? Okay. So probably my first interest, I'm not the lender, by the way, so I'm putting her in the spot.
Yeah.
So I would do, actually, let's do it in the calculator here.
No, and while you do the calculation, so
yes.
at the closing, we're gonna have all this information already. The builder already told me in what order they're gonna request money, right?
Yes.
50, 100, 150, like that. So we're going to give you a calculation of the computer. That's why we have computers. And you're gonna have exactly what payment are you gonna have on all these different draws.
Gotcha. So they're gonna kind of like a schedule. Okay, when they get to slab, this is kind of what the payment would be. Then when they get to blocks, they're gonna request this. Your payment's gonna be that. So, but to give you an idea, the first 100,000 at 8%, it's 8,000, which is about $666. Wow, that's not a nice number. I'll request a little bit more, so it's not that number. But basically, that would be the first payment, and then when I get to block, let's say I ask for 20,000 less. The next month they get a bill for the difference, etc. Beautiful. Okay, so that's what so the client gotta be prepared. Besides their closing costs or whatever they're coming in, and we'll get into that at the closing, to have those interest payments while the construction is being done.
Correct.
Is there? I'm asking this because people ask these questions. Is there a way that they can prepay those interests, or they get paid every month as I build.
Yeah, with my type of loan, it gets paid as the money is being used.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. But it's great that you give them a kind of like a payment schedule. So let's say if those interests are going to be $10,000, they can prepare themselves, maybe kind of put those $10,000 on an account and just have it there. So while they're building, they know that money is already there.
Correct.
So they don't have to give it to you, but they can have it separated for them.
Correct.
Awesome. Okay. So next question that we have besides the payments, when do I lock my interest? Because you're saying it's a one-time close up front. So if we're closing on the loan today, what are the interests today, by the way? Do we know? Any idea?
Yeah, 6.5.
6.5. Obviously, we're on March 2026. So if you see this in a month, it's not 6.5. Hopefully lower. But let's say I close today at 6.5. Is that going to be my rate for my next 30 years?
So I love that about New American product because, so remember, we close at the beginning, we finalize, like I said, payment, interest rate, everything. So you have that secure. We're going to do something that is called floating the rate. So we're going to keep that rate.
Floating the rate.
We're going to keep that rate for all the time of the construction. 1 month before you tell me, Lina, the house is almost ready, we're going to do a modification when we review everything, we finalize all the numbers, and guess what? I locked you a 6.5%, like we just said. Now interest rate went up. You're good. You're protected. You already have that interest rate secured. Now interest rate went down. We're in a 5% market. You as a client have the option to go down in rate if you want to. So you're never losing because you can keep the rate that we locked you 12 months ago and be secure, or you can lock to a lower rate.
So you have a free float down.
Not free. There's a small cost, but very tiny.
Okay. But it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it because if I'm going to go down from, I have the possibility to go down from 6.5 today to even if it's at 6 or 5 3/4, that payment at 30 years is probably, tens of thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah. So once we finish that modification and then the house is done, then you start making payments for 30 years as a regular loan.
Got it. And then at that time is when obviously the principal and interest gets fixed, and then the taxes and insurance get also shopped at that time, not at the beginning, correct?
So we do shop the insurance at the beginning because we have to qualify you. We have to have an amount.
You need to know what my payment is going to be.
But you can also change that at the modification. If you found a cheaper quote and you want to lower your insurance, then we do that. And the taxes, we calculate it at the beginning based on the construction value, so they're normally the same.
Let's talk about that because D.R. Horton is in trouble right now because of those taxes. I don't know if you know that. I'm not going to mention D.R. Horton on this program, but I mentioned it twice. There's right now, a buzz on the industry on that because there was some lenders that actually closed at the wrong taxes, and then the client went up on their taxes, right? So how do we protect the client? So up front, when you're doing that qualification, like we said, the house doesn't exist yet. So how do you figure the correct taxes that are going to be to figure the correct payment?
Yeah, so we have a calculator that we use that is based per county and sales price and complete value. And we use that calculation, which is very secure and very safe. But of course, you know that once the county does the actual assessment of your property, if you do it as a homestead and things like that, then they're the ones who determine the final amount. But we do a very safe calculation.
Awesome. So just to be clear, you're going to calculate what the taxes will be for the full property built, not just for the land.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Which is what happened to these other people, unfortunately. So, awesome. All right. I think we have one more question, Lina, for you. And then I want to talk a little bit more about the lots. But let's see, what happens if the builder takes longer than expected to finish? You mentioned it's a 12-month process.
Yeah.
You were telling me you're in a situation right now where the builder didn't finish on time, right? We're not going to mention the builder, of course. But normally that wouldn't happen with Queen Homes. But let's say in the hypothetical case, passes the 12 months, what happens?
So our product is designed to be for 12 months.
Yep.
Okay. However, we do have an extension up to 18 months if something was to happen.
Okay. So at that time, obviously the builder will have to say where they're at, what's the estimated time frame, I think that that's maybe the concern. Like maybe 4 years ago, after the pandemic, there was a shortage of everything, and like builders were stuck for like 3 months. There was no windows, there was no nothing, and maybe on something like that, I guess that's what there's provision.
Yeah.
But if they were to happen, that then you can extend for 6 more months. Then, if that's the case, okay, awesome. All right, so going back to the lot. Let's walk about both scenarios and we finish with this. So if the person already has the lot, that value of that lot, that gets credited towards the down payment and the closing costs, because people ask that, what happens with the lot? You know, I paid $50,000 for the lot. How is that gonna help me buy my home on this construction to perm loan?
So I love that because as I'm working with you guys a lot now, everyone has a lot. Everybody has paid lots.
No,
I'm like,
everybody that you talk to from Queen Homes has a lot because we attract a lot of people that have lots.
yeah, because you market to that and they're coming out of everywhere. And I'm like, wow, everybody has a lot.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful case, a beautiful scenario to be in because many times these lots have equity, right? So not to make it too confusing.
What do you mean by every lot has an equity? If you mean that is free and clear.
It could be both, but a lot of people bought lots a couple of years ago and now they have equity. Is what I'm seeing. That I see people with lots that are worth 100,000, and I'm like, where did this come from? But it could be both, right? It could be somebody who bought the lot a couple of months ago and they just pay for it. It's okay, or they have financing. It would be a scenario by scenario because they could be free and clear, or they could have a small balance. We can work with both. We just have to pay the small balance, okay? But
so if it's free and clear, it's preference. If they owe on the lot, which most of the time that's seller financing because it's very hard to finance lots. There is some programs, but it's tough to finance them. But so if they owe money on the lot, you can roll
we'll pay it off.
You have to pay it off with the new loan because you cannot be on second position, of course.
Exactly. So let's say somebody has a paid lot and is worth 100,000. Any money that you will have to put for down payment, the lot is already covering that. So you could finance the construction and the closing costs and pretty much not bringing anything down.
Wow, very nice. Now, when you say the lot is valued at 100, are you giving them a credit based on what they paid or what the lot is worth?
It depends on when they bought it because there is restrictions. If they
That's
bought it 6 months ago, then I'll give them what they pay for it.
Okay.
If it's more than that, then depending on the program.
Because there's a lot of people that come to us that they bought a lot 20 years ago for $5,000. Now it's worth $90,000.
I love those. No, I give them the whatever it's worth now.
Whatever it's worth now. Got you. But if they just bought it, then you're gonna give them what they paid.
Let's say 6 months, yeah.
Okay, and then if they owe on the lot, they either have to, at your closing, either pay off the lot or you will have to have enough approval to cover what they owe on the lot. Could there be the case that they don't qualify to enough to include what they owe on the lot there and they have to pay it off?
Yeah, I have had in a scenario where they only qualify for the construction, even though they had a lot that was worth, I think, 200,000. They only qualify for whatever the house they were building.
Yep.
So they had to pay the closing costs, and if there was a loan remaining on the lot, they will have to pay for that. But if they qualify for now that we're financing for the construction, for the closing costs, and for that lot, we're good.
Now they qualify, and it has to appraise also, though, right? So it has to qualify for that amount. And they have to appraise for that amount.
Yeah, even though this is a construction loan and it's very good and it has all these beautiful things, it's still a loan. It's still an FHA, a conventional, so we have to meet all those requirements that we'll have to meet in a regular transaction.
Is there different requirements on debt-to-income ratios from a VA to a FHA?
No, so V8 in general is very flexible with DTI, but in this particular loan, we do have some restrictions. So we do allow the same guidelines as a regular loan, but we will have an extra restriction.
Gotcha. And for obviously the people that are not in the industry, can you explain to them what is a DTI?
So debt to income ratio. Anytime that we're qualifying you for a loan, we're going to verify your income versus your debts. Okay, and we come to a percentage. Debts divided by income give us the debt to income ratio. Each loan has different requirements. For FHA, we can go to up to 56.9%, and for conventional, 49. So leave all that math to me. I will figure it out. But yeah, that's
Gotcha.
how we do that.
Amazing, amazing. And I know with one of the clients that we have right now, they went to the audio center and audio and video, and they actually upgraded the custom home that they're doing, and they put an extra $8,000 or $9,000, and we were able to actually then modify the construction contract and include it also on your loan.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything else that we're missing that you want to mention as far as construction to perm, live, United States, Colombia, anything?
I didn't mention that I was from Colombia. No, I do a lot of Instagram on this because I just feel that people don't know how easy it is. And there's a lot of builders out there, but many people don't want those cookie cutter houses. They want to build their own house in the area that they want, how they want it, and this is an amazing product for that. And of course, we have an amazing builder for that. So
also, I think that also people that have lots, obviously, they rather use the equity that they have on that lot as opposed to go and buy inside a community. And also a lot of people that don't want HOA, right? What's up with the Colombians? Nobody wants HOA. I think the Peruvians too, I think. But.
Latin America, we want to do whatever we want. We don't want nobody to tell us what to do in our house.
Exactly. They're like, no, I want to have the boat, and I want to have the jet skis, and I don't want anybody to tell me what plants I can do in the front or anything like that. So that's one of the things actually that we get a lot is people like that they want an acre, 2 acres, and they want to build whatever they want to build, and they don't want nobody to bother them.
Exactly.
Awesome. Beautiful. Well, thank you very much. Last question. When are you building your custom home with a construction to perm loan with Queen Homes?
Now that I'm driving, every time that I drive by Winter Park here in Florida, close to Orlando, I'm like, I can buy a lot and I can build with. Of course, I'm thinking about it very soon.
That's one of the things. It's good that you say that, because now that you know that you're going to be able to use your equity of the lot, a lot of people, the first step is to buy the lot alone if they don't want to build right now. And we can do that with you as well. One of the things that I say is always the worst thing that you can do is buy a lot without a builder, because it breaks our hearts all the time when we see clients that come in super happy with this lot, and then when we do the due diligence, there's no utilities, it's underwater, cannot be built, or even worse, a lot of people that buy plans and they pay $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to an architect for plans. They come in with the plans, beautiful plans, nothing against the architect, but then when we go and find the lot, you cannot build a house on that lot. And now they have to pay for plans again, or pay to change it. So if you have the lot, the first thing is always, like I said, is doing the lot first, and then custom made the home for that specific lot, depending on what it is. Yes?
I just want to say, work with both a lender and a builder that know what they're doing, because it's a very specific and custom product as well, and you don't want to be put at risk with your money and your dreams. Absolutely,
especially as well, that's a really good point. So I'll make sure as a builder that the lot is good and that the house that you want fits on the lot. She's also going to make sure that it appraises and that it's a financial decision as well. Because unfortunately, we also see a lot of builders that build houses for people, and they build a house that is too big for the area that they have the lot in.
I've heard that, yeah.
And we're not here to build the biggest house. We're here to build the correct house, the perfect house, that it makes sense financially, that is going to appraise, that is going to give you equity long term, and obviously that satisfies everything that you need for your family. Lina, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, and let's keep doing this and building dream homes.
Absolutely. So stay tuned of Freedom Builders, and if you have questions for Lina, we will have all her information in the comment section here for Freedom Builders podcast, and you'll be able to call her directly. And she's definitely, we can say from Queen Homes, an amazing lender to use. Thank you very much, and have a good day.